Incredible transition. $5 gas, 32% jump in AAA gas stranded calls, and Michigan County rations 911 responses. I mean, this is crazy where the police is running out of gas, so now they have to curtail their responses to emergency calls. It's just this is bizarro world. This is Joe Biden's America. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's a link to my merch store, my mental health coaching and consultation page. All right, let's talk about the news. If you thought that Joe Biden's energy policy only figuratively left Americans in the lurch, think again. Gas prices has risen so high and so fast that drivers have become much more reluctant to fill up their tanks. The Washington Post reports this morning. The number of roadside assistant calls to AAA from drivers out of fuel has skyrocketed 32%, with 50,000 such calls in April alone. That in itself is a pretty incredible transition, no? And AAA, they said that it was 50,787 out of gas calls in April, 32% drop, like I said earlier, and more than 200,000 drivers have been similarly stranded this year, the Automotive Club said. And gas prices have risen precipitously since April, making the financial pain even more acute. Fuel prices begin their most recent surge after Russia invaded Ukraine in February, upsetting energy markets. The U.S. average for a gallon of gas has swelled 62% to 4.97 since last year, AAA data shows. Motorists in 16 states are paying at least $5 a gallon. That's just crazy on average, while California has breached $6. Filling up a gas tank, depending on the vehicle, can cost as much more than $100, which is equivalent to 14 hours of after-tax income for certain low-wage workers. And this is all by design. You know, I state again and again because before he even went into office, he admitted that he was going to make gas so expensive that people have to switch to electric cars. This is what they want. That's why he's really not doing anything about it. The escalating expenses combined with the rising cost of food, housing, and other essentials has consumers playing in inflationary whack-a-mole, making tougher choices on how much they can spend and when. Some drivers may do a partial fill up if they're pressed for cash at the end of the pay cycle, says Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy. Quote, if you only have $5 or $10 left before your next paycheck, that's what you're going on. DeHaan said. This tells us people are really hurting from high gas prices. No joke. Gas Buddy also has news of his own, but we'll get into that in a moment. Don't forget what the White House spent April bragging about momentary stall in the rate of increase in gasoline, and I talked about that. I said it was BS when they bragged about it. Gas prices had gone up 14 cents in March, but actually declined a bit in April, going from an initial EIA average 4.334 at the end of March to a low of 4.17 in the third week of April, before rebounding a little to 4.211 in the last week. And if AAA experienced this much of a rise in drivers taking it to the hairy edge in a month where gas were relatively stable, imagine how many more calls they ended up getting in May. I can't wait to see those numbers. When prices went from 4.211 figure to 4.727, a 50-cent increase over just 5 weeks. That's crazy. That's 10 cents a week. Speaking of which, Gas Buddy also calculate that um, today's the price. Today's the day when the U.S. crossed the $5 per gallon Rubicon. The Hill adds a lot of editorializing to the data, however. The average gas price, so they say that the average gas price of gasoline in the U.S. surpassed $5 per gallon for the first time ever on Thursday. First time ever, according to gas price site Gas Buddy. The latest high price comes after months of rising prices and is likely to add to a political headache from the Biden administration, even though presidents only have limited control over the price of fuel. That is nuts. Of course, the Hill gonna try to spin it as much as they can, but we all know that him shutting down pipelines is what's causing the bottleneck that's going on right now. Quote, all of these factors have created an environmental ripe for a surge in gas prices while Americans balk at prices but continue filling up as demand has seen little decline, the group said in a statement. However, Republicans are likely to try to place the blame on President Biden and the Democrats as the midterm approach. They are caping for the Democrats here because everyone has to know by now about Joe Biden and how he feels about gas and how he's not we're not building more of these gas places to get more gas. So I mean, of course, gas is going to go up because of that simple fact. Just remember, when the problem is Democrat policies leading to bad outcomes, the real story is all the pouncing Republicans will do with them. It's just crazy. At any rate, the EIA won't have the official stat on average gas until late Monday, and I can't wait for that to come out. Given that this week's report showed the average price rising 25 cents from the previous week to 4.977, it's a cinch that this will show that we have crossed the $5 mark and then some by that point. Even if it's just at $5 even, prices will have risen 48% since the beginning of the year and 103% since Biden took office. That kind of sharp increase has other impacts that just a surge of calls to the AAA hotline. Then just the surge of calls to the AAA hotline. Another more critical hotline will get less response in the least one Michigan county, as police have gone through an entire year's budget of gasoline for the police cruisers. So, I mean, what are they going to do about gas? So, from now on, ABC Good Morning America reported today in-person responses to 911 calls in Isabella County will be rationed. That's right, rationed for the next several months, apparently. Good luck, Isabella County residents and Democrats running for office anywhere near there. I think, this red wave is going to sweep America because people are going to be voting with their pocketbooks, be voting with their wallets, because this is just crazy. You can't even afford to drive in America right now. But let me know what you think. Leave comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest news. Until next time, peace. Oh,